Welcome to the Roots and Branches JJC Alumni Podcast. As the nation's first community college, JJC has been making history since 1901. With more than 70,000 alumni, we have an endless supply of stories to share. Listen in to find out how deep our alumni's JJC roots go and how far they've been able to branch out into our community and beyond. Welcome back, everyone. With October being National Fire Prevention Month, I knew the perfect alum to invite on the show. In addition to being a firefighter and paramedic since he was 19 years old, Craig Mateski is also a fire science instructor with Grundy Area Vocational Center and a newly appointed fire commissioner for Morris, Illinois. Craig, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here.
So you've got about a 30-plus year career here in a fire service, and you've been in a couple different fire departments. You've done so many different things, but through your whole journey these last 30-plus years, JJC has sort of made its way into your life at various times, at various points, and is even still currently a part. And so I really just want to talk about that in the beginning here. How did you, get to where you are today, and what are the ways that JJC has shaped your journey, I guess? You started right away at JJC, fresh out of high school, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, fire science wasn't really on the radar. I was trying to figure things out after high school, just taking general education type classes over at Joliet Junior College. And one morning, passing by Joliet Fire Station on the way to school, they were pulling out for a call and it piqued my interest. So I did some digging and found the fire science program and got my start. Found that Troy Fire Department in Shorewood had a need for volunteer firefighters. So I jumped in and got involved and really fell in love with it. It was a great experience. It was very gratifying to be involved, to be able to volunteer your time and help people. And it applied to a career path as well.
That's wonderful.
I was really excited. Yeah.
What does a volunteer firefighter do? What are your specific responsibilities in that role? Because you were like 19 years old when you took that position, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Tuesday night was our training night. So you had to show up once a week for that. Any other time that you were around the fire station was bonus time. They presented the state firefighter curriculum, and I studied out of it's called the Essentials book. I studied out of that on my own because I really wanted to get that firefighting certificate and be able to get going and ride on those big fire trucks. It was so exciting to me.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. And at the same time, I started taking the EMT class over at Joliet Junior College and some other fire science classes as well. And as soon as I'd get out of class, I'd head right over to the fire station and crack the books and hang out because I didn't want to miss any opportunities to be on a fire call or train with anyone that was around. So It really was, it was a lot of fun.
And how long were you with Troy before you transitioned to Aurora?
I was there a little bit over 5 years. I started there as a volunteer, became an EMT, and was actually hired as one of their full-time EMTs after a couple of years. Got to talking with the guys that I worked with there, and we all decided to go to paramedic school. So we did that, which was through Silver Cross Hospital. That was a year-long endeavor that pulled me away from Joliet Junior College because at the time they were not affiliated. They are now, which is really fantastic. I was one of the first 6 paramedics at Troy Fire Department. We took that fire department into an advanced life support status, which we were all really proud of. And having that paramedic, thank you. And then having that paramedic license helped me find a larger career department. Just the Shorewood area hadn't grown like it has now. And I was ready for something bigger and busier and more career oriented, which led me to Aurora.
And so what were some of the positions you held when you were at Aurora? Because you had a pretty lasting career there.
I did. I was there almost 27 years, and I was a firefighter. I did some fire investigation while I was there. I did that for about 5 years. Paramedic, of course. I was mostly assigned to ladder trucks throughout my career, which was just so much fun. I knew I wanted to be promoted and take on some leadership roles. So I made it to lieutenant, and
wonderful.
After that, went on to captain, and then I went on to battalion chief and was eventually appointed to shift commander.
And JJC played another role somewhere in the middle there, right? Came
Absolutely,
back?
absolutely. Yeah, I sure did. Uh, the standards, if you wanted to move up through the ranks, the standards obviously became higher. And
Sure.
attaining my associate's degree was really important if I wanted to go beyond captain. And that was one of my goals. So I went back to Joliet Junior College. It was really odd being midlife and walking back through those doors. I didn't have any idea as to where to start except for the fire science department. And when I walked in, who other than Dwayne Stonich was there to greet me? And Dwayne was my EMT instructor back in 1990.
Oh my
So
gosh, full circle, huh?
it was full circle. And he was so helpful and welcoming and friendly and said, "Hey, you're not the only one coming back. And it's fantastic to have you here. What state certificates do you hold right now? Get those together. Let's sit down." He looked at everything that I had. A lot of them applied for college credit, which was
That's so awesome.
actually, yeah, it
Yeah.
was awesome. It was a big relief because it lightened the load, helped me make a plan. And there I was back at Joliet Junior College taking online classes, which was great because I could do my homework in the fire station on duty after dinner and
Yeah.
showing up also for other classes. And I did finish. I finished and got my associate's degree.
So I don't know if there's a better place than JJC to come back as an adult learner because so many times when we have an alum here talking on the podcast or in a video here on campus, so many times it's like, I was so nervous to go back. I'm not a traditional student, or I had been here when I was younger, and now here I am coming back. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. And every story still ends with them feeling like they were a part of something here. They never felt out of place and they never felt like they didn't belong. And a lot of that has to really do with the way that the instructors we have here is just so amazing and making students feel that way. And I know that you highly respect Dwayne Stonich and all that he did for you. And the fact that he would sit down with you and go over all the different ways that some of your life experience and your certificates and all of that counted for credit. I mean, it was probably great to know that you had somebody on your side, making sure that you were going to get through and get done and still be able to work your full time job and have your life.
Oh, absolutely. One thing I've always remembered about Dwayne going back to EMT school at 19 years old is
Mhm.
how it just made an impact how engaged he was with the students in that class. We weren't being shuffled along and pushed through. It mattered that we learned the material. If you needed help, he was approachable and gave good guidance. He had great experiences to share. And it really, as a 19-year-old kid, starting this whole thing out, it really made me want to succeed and get through this and prove myself. So when I went back and saw him again, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Dwayne, how are you? It's good to see you." And again, it was the same vibe. It mattered to him. He wanted to see my success. He wanted to help me get through, and it was motivating. And I carried that. The impact that he had on my education and my career is what motivates me to help in my teaching role and share the career with young adults, young guys and gals that want to get involved in the fire service and help them find a pathway.
I love that. And you have a lot to offer those students. I mean, you having this long career, being a firefighter, I'm sure that there are moments of being glamorous and being the hero and being on those jobs where you walk away just feeling like you really made a tremendous difference in someone's life. You saved a life in a lot of these cases, but I know that that position is not always easy. I know that there's a lot of challenges that come with that job, and sometimes those are challenges that aren't even talked about all the time. So, I do kind of want you to share that because I think that's such an important part of education, especially now that you're up with those students is yes, you're sharing the skills that they need, you're sharing all that you need to do, but getting them prepared sort of mentally and emotionally for that type of role. What do you think are some of the hardest parts about being in fire service?
Well, sure. As you enter as a young firefighter, it's so exciting and fun. And as you grow, life changes come along. You get married, you have kids, and it impacts your home life. You're gone for 24-hour shifts. And my wife teases me and tells me she wishes some days now that I'm retired that I would go find something to do because I'm around so much now. She got used to me being gone. But
Yeah.
but you miss some holidays, and especially when kids come along, you miss some of their milestones or you reschedule
Yeah.
holidays, make them earlier or later. my wife, I have to give her a lot of credit. We had 3 young kids, and she'd be home for 24 hours raising those kids while I was off at work. And then I would come home sometimes really exhausted, and she needed a break. It could be challenging. And I'm proud of the fact we're going to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. Yeah,
Happy
coming up in a couple of
anniversary.
weeks. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like
You
she was
know,
a hero too, huh? Taking that
absolutely.
hero role at home with the kids, but
Oh, 100%. And working a career as a nurse as
yeah.
well.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, yeah. So, and I don't say it enough, and I don't tell her enough, but I am grateful to have her, and I'm grateful she's a wonderful mother and wonderful wife, and
Oh,
we've made it. I feel like
yeah.
we've made it. So through the hard parts.
Well, I think she's gonna appreciate this podcast shout out for her and all her efforts
I hope
during
so.
those years. But yeah, I don't think that sometimes in any profession where there are some difficulties, maybe we don't talk about them enough, but it is so important. And now that you've been there and you can kind of help guide your students and make them understand a little bit about what the future holds, you bring a lot to the table for them. So let's talk about teaching. This amazing wife of yours was also the reason that you took this job now at the Grundy Area Vocational Center, right?
Yeah, so I retired and I took about a year off and told her that I'm starting to feel like I need to go do something and ready to maybe start looking for jobs. And we were having a glass of wine in the evening, and I had gone to bed, and I got up early and had my coffee, and she had texted me the job posting. So she went on after I went to bed and was looking around, and she found me a job.
That
So
is still taking care of you. There you go.
yeah, absolutely. And I was looking at it thinking, this is really interesting, but am I suited to teach high school kids? This is not my wheelhouse. I've never given this a thought. And she knew I had kind of a passion for helping anyone that was interested in becoming a firefighter,
Yeah.
and sharing my experiences and how I got hired and what they needed to do. And so I thought, what the heck? I'm going to give this a shot. Made a resume and applied, and here I am. So,
Wow. So, I mean, and I can kinda tell when you talk about it, this was a pretty good move for you. You're enjoying teaching, and I'm sure it's pretty different, a different experience than working at the firehouse, but what are you loving about it? What do you
yes.
enjoy about teaching?
Gosh, it's amazing. GAVC is an amazing place to teach, to work. It's not just in fire science, but across all the programs. What an impact the students of Grundy County are receiving by being in that building. All the programs are just so well done. Professionalism is held at such a high standard there, preparing these kids to get out into the world. And I call it winning. I tell my students, I want you to get out there and win.
I love that.
If you listen to what we're telling you and you take this stuff to heart, you're going to be head and shoulders a better applicant and candidate for the job that you want. And that goes across every program in that building.
Oh, what a nice shout out for GAVC that really and
Yeah.
we are very fortunate in our area to have GAVC and opportunities
Oh,
for students.
thank you. Absolutely. We're a dual credit program. If you come through fire science for 2 years, you will get 12 credit hours that will apply towards your associate's degree. And I think
Amazing.
yeah, it is amazing. And to see these kids come in, they're interested in the first place, and they're all so engaged. And it's so much fun. We have all the real stuff, real fire gear, real air packs. We even have a fire engine. And
Oh, that's awesome.
it is awesome. So to tell them, hey, put your gear on, we're taking the fire engine out. And
Yeah.
man, they are as quick as they can. They are geared up and ready to go and get to work. It's just so much fun.
So
We're
much
able
more
to,
beyond just the classroom to have that kind of real world, like, experience, and then to have instructors like you who've had all this experience and just can be, like, sharing that knowledge with what a great start to their career so young.
yes, it is. It is. It's a lot of fun. And I have a co-instructor, Joe Vish, who's a Joliet firefighter, and he's more the program coordinator and has designed the program. And I would just come in and I help out on the days he's on shift a couple days a week. But it really is set up in a great way. And we have a lot of kids that are on the job as full-time firefighters now that happened. They were in the program before I got there, and now we're helping
That's
some find their
awesome.
pathway to fire departments that have cadet programs that are paid. and explorer programs that offer them training one night a week, much like a volunteer fire department would. But
Mhm.
the big benefit to those programs is the kids are receiving preference points for the test to
Yeah.
become full-time sworn firefighters. And it's exciting to see that they love it so much that they want to continue on in their career path to the fire
Yes.
service and that we get to help them.
I mean, I can just tell you're loving this gig. Well, retirement was short lived, but I think you've got a great career span here in teaching. And you're not just stopping in the classroom, you've also added sort of another element in education when you decided to join the JJC Foundation Board. I know that it's been, gosh, has it been one or two? How many years now?
2 years. Yeah.
So, what made you decide to join the foundation board?
My good friend Jeff Raza is on the board, and I had gotten together with him and we were chatting, and he was asking me some of the same questions. What are you doing teaching high school kids, Craig? And I was telling him my little story, and he said, "Have you ever thought about getting involved with the JJC Foundation?" And he explained what it was, and I said, "That sounds interesting. Yeah, I would." And so I put an application in to get on the board, and well, here I am. Of course, I have the honor of being on the scholarship committee, which is again another way to help young people find their pathway and reading some of these essays and scoring them
Ah,
and helping these kids
mm,
get the financial help they need to get their education and get on their feet. Again, it's very gratifying to it's another way to help people
yeah.
and grow young adults, and some people are adults that are applying for scholarships, would help them find their way to success.
We are so fortunate to have this scholarship committee as part of our foundation board and people like you who are on it because we're giving away more than $1 million this fall, which is just incredible. I mean, we have beat our $1 million goal of last year and we're doing it in one semester now. And that there's still students who need constant financial support. We're never short on students. And so the people who take the time to read the scholarship essays and score them and help get as much money as possible to students in need. I mean, it's such a crucial role on the foundation, and it's very humbling and it's very eye opening to read these stories. These students, some of the stuff they've been through, some of the challenges that they're facing. So it's just really important that we have a strong committee, and it's just wonderful that you're a part of it. So we thank you for serving on that. And we have to also mention that now you're on the foundation board. You're back at JJC again, coming full circle. And who else just joined the foundation board?
That would be Dwayne Stonich.
Third time, you and Dwayne serving
Yes.
together. How great.
Yes, it is. It is great. I guess there's kind of a theme there, but again, what an example. Oh, Dwayne
Mhm.
has never stopped. He's never stopped caring about his community as a firefighter, as an educator, and now he's on the board. He just keeps giving back. And what a great guy and what a great example.
Yeah, and a great pair really educating all of us in fire science and everything that the programs are doing both here at JJC, at GABC. It's just it's great to have you both serving with us.
Oh, thank you.
So I know, you're giving advice on a daily basis for your job right now, but I always like to make sure that I give all of our guests an opportunity to share advice for students who are coming in, whether they're in the same boat as you, being a student, returning student, and now working here. But I don't know. What's your advice? You're seeing these students at the high school level. What do you think they need to hear or they need to know before they come to JJC?
The first piece of advice I give them is hard work pays. You have to be willing to work hard and get dirty and be tired, show up early, stay a little late, go the extra mile. The job force is full of average applicants. And we want these kids to know they're going to have to work hard to stand out and to succeed. And if they're willing to do that and persevere, they're going to win. As we say in our program, we want you to win. And
Yeah.
it takes hard work. It's not a miracle. There is no magic formula. It takes hard work. So don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves and jump in and show some dedication and put some blood, sweat, and tears into it. It'll pay
Shoot your
off.
shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot. Absolutely.
Anything specific to the students who are trying to come to our fire science program and enter that field that you've lovingly been a part of for so long?
Keep trying. I applied at a lot of fire departments and I took a lot of tests. It doesn't always work out in your favor. Some
Mhm.
places are hiring only one or two over a 2-year period, and some places are hiring 12 or 15 or 20. And you need to just keep applying, keep trying, keep working hard, and you will land somewhere. Right now was a great time to try to become a firefighter. We don't have the application numbers that we had when I was getting on the job. There is less competition. So now is a great time. So get out there and get those applications in, take those tests, and it'll work out for you.
That's great advice. And for anybody listening, if you're potentially thinking of getting into this profession or have someone that you know is interested in it, make sure that they visit jjc.edu. And under our academic interest tab, you can see all that we have to offer here in fire science and EMT. We have state-of-the-art facilities. We have really grown this department. It's pretty spectacular. I think Craig can agree with that we've grown in lots of ways. And be sure to check it out and see that page also has a bunch of different potential career opportunities and other information. So be sure to check that out. And also, just to put a little plug for Craig in here, he is going to be our alumni spotlight for our fall 2025 Connections magazine. So he'll get to be a little other debut in that. So be sure to look for that hitting homes in November. So, Craig, is there anything else you want to share today? We're so happy to have you on.
Oh, yeah, I just want to touch on the JJC Fire Science program and what it offers,
Yes.
because the program has expanded since I've been there, and it is a great place to start. You can gain your state firefighting certificate by going through the Joliet Junior College program. I believe they are still connected with the Troy Fire Department Fire Academy. And you can also go to paramedic school through Joliet Junior College and become a nationally registered paramedic. So
Wonderful.
the program has grown and quite improved since I've been there. So it's a great place to start. Get your state certs and your state license, and it makes you an even better applicant for the fire departments that are out there looking.
Thank you so much for sharing that. See, you're the professional. You're the professional.
Yeah.
I think you sold it well here. So again, thank you so much for being here, Craig. We're so lucky to have you on the foundation board, and your students are just so lucky to have you at GAVC.
Thank you. My pleasure, Jen.
And to all of our listeners, thank you so much for being here today, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Roots and Branches JJC Alumni Podcast. For more episodes, information, foundation events, and ways to give or get involved, visit jjc.edu/alumni.